The third graph we're going to make is a scatter plot graph, and that of course is the graph you want to make when you're comparing numeric variables. This is my cat. His name is Aiden. In order to see if there's a relationship between them, we're going to be looking at the relationship between age and reaction time scores. So in the third tab, your first task is to highlight the data. So we're going to be using age and score. We're not going to be using the year completed or gender. Leave them there. Don't highlight those or they're going to mess with you. So with those two highlighted, we click on Insert Chart, and the computer will think, oh, what kind of graph do you want? Does that look like a scatter plot? No. So here we have to go to Setup, and we have to choose the kind of graph we want. It's not a line graph. There we go. Let's choose scatter plot. All right, and here every single individual's data is represented here as a point on the graph. Now then we go to Customize, and we're going to tweak parts of it to make it look like the example graph. As you know, we are going to need to fix the title and the labels of the axes. We can do that here from Chart and Title Axes. Right, and remember units, so age is years, not it's years. Excellent. All right. Now, what do we still need to do? We need to do quite a bit with our grid lines. We need to change our data points from circles to X's, and we need to add a line of best fit. So let's start with grid lines. So down here, grid lines, the horizontal axis, we want to see every year. We want to see a line for every year, but we want the major lines to be every 10 years. So major spacing type, a step is every 10. We type 10. All right. And then minor, the step is every year. And then for the vertical axis, we want to have the step to be every 10. All right, and you'll notice, you'll see like this data point is not quite entirely on the graph. It's kind of at the edge of it. That doesn't look so good. So we're going to change the maximums. So on the vertical axis, we're going to make the maximum 110 so that all the data actually fits. All right, so that is looking very nice, but we want to have a trend line in there, and I don't even think we'd see the trend line with all these dots, these solid dots. So we're going to choose here under Series, instead of a circle, we're going to do a little X. All right. And then we're going to add a trend line. And you can kind of see it, but not so great. We're going to make it hot pink, and we're going to make it 8 points thick, and we're going to increase its how opaque it is to make it easier to see. Now, that helps us visualize this data lots better. What remains is the information about that line. So the equation of a line, as you all should know, is y equals mx plus b, m being the slope. So the slope of that line tells you the direction and strength of the relationship between age and reaction time. So we want to put that label here where we're at. We're still under, so just so you know where we are, we're still under Series. When we scroll down, we just created the trend line, and we want to have a label for it. We want to use equation. So the equation for that trend line is y equals negative 0.0821 x plus 35. And we want that not up there at the top. We want to know where to put that legend. right? We want that legend like the example on the left. Legend, click on the legend caret and position left. Click on here, individual score. Well, there you go. Individual score and the equation for the line. And there you have it. There's our scatter plot graph showing the relationship between age and reaction time. Guess what? As we get older, our reaction time gets slower.